In the last half of the second inning, Robinson gets the first hit off Ford. It's a homer into the left field stand.
Welcome everyone to another fun-filled episode here at The Sports Life. In this episode, we will be talking about the most beautiful moments in sports history. You know what they say, it's not the winning, it's the taking part that counts. And often it's not victory, but how you conduct yourself in the game that make you a respected athlete. Later on, we will tell you the incredible story of a triathlete who earned the world's admiration and also another awe-inspiring moment where respect was born out of defeat. Let's start. Who could miss the very recent tear-jerker moment that left the entire NBA and the world wiping their eyes when Michael Jordan gave an emotional speech about his recently passed beloved friend Kobe Bryant.
Kobe left nothing in the tank. He left it all on the floor. Now he's got me. I'll have to look at another crime meme for the next. I told my wife I wasn't going to do this because I didn't want to see that for the next 3 or 4 years. That is what Kobe Bryant does to me.
During an international 10-kilometer road race in Nigeria, a Kenyan runner collapsed just before the finish line. He crawled and rolled while others passed by, but when Simon Shepro approached, he picked him up and helped him. Shepro gave up the idea of winning and instead offered a hand when it was clearly needed.
Award spirit, sportsmanship to the highest order, and now.
Oh, this is lovely.
Wonderful.
This is what sports should be all about. This is what sports should be all about. Trying to be your.
Keep Kemoy.
Oh, that's a civil chaperone, I think.
Keep Kemoy.
Sambo fight at the Baku 2015 First European Games. Stanislav Papao beat his opponent Emil Gazimov by forcing him to tap out. Gazimov was seen struggling with his injured leg while the gold medal winner was being announced. As a true act of sportsmanship, Papao carried Emil out of the arena and thereafter gained worldwide admiration.
There's the win, richly deserved. Stanislav Papao. Oh, look at that, there's a show of respect if you ever needed to see one.
While playing tennis during the quarter-finals at Brisbane International, Kyle Edmund suddenly dropped on the ground experiencing some excruciating pain. His opponent, the Bulgarian tennis player Grigor Dimitrov, jumped over the net, rushed to his side, and helped him walk over to his chair. LeBron James reaches out his hand and helps Kyrie Irving after a tumble.
Big acquisition for kind of funny rotation and that shot by Schmidt. LeBron trying to draw the charge from Kyrie.
MMA fighter Chad George won the fight by realizing he didn't need to throw a punch at Mark Vorgias, who was clearly already passed out. He argued with the referee instead and saw no need for further violence. A true heart of gold. Now that's sportsmanship.
That hand with his left arm. I can't see from this position here if he can pull the right arm out at all.
Now George has his head free.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not.
He's out!
Borges got caught on the Von Flue choke.
I have never seen that before in my life. They were literally arguing about whether or not he was out. He was completely out.
George said to Ayers, he's out. Ayers said, no, he's not. George says, yes, he is. Ayers looked at the face of Mark Borges. Technical submission on the Von Flue choke, just like that.
It's also worth mentioning the infamous goal of the century by Maradona, who dashed along the pitch, evading defenders, and finally kicked the ball into the net for a winning score of 2-1 against England during the quarter-finals of the World Cup. The energy was just exhilarating.
Ahí lo tiene Maradona, lo marcan dos, pisa la pelota Maradona, arranca por la derecha el genio del fútbol mundial, y es el tercero a tocar para Borruchaga siempre Maradona, genio, ta, ¡gol!
When Alex Honnold took that last step, thereby successfully ascending the 3,000-foot El Capitan without any safety harnesses, he became the world record holder for being the first person to climb the granite wall without ropes. It was considered as one of the greatest achievements of all time. Truly breathtaking, it was surely one of the most beautiful and inspiring moments ever recorded on film. An NFL player scored an emotional 83-yard touchdown, fell on his knees, prayed, and moved the whole crowd. His teammates rushed to his side, later revealing that his son was prematurely born 5 hours before the game and did not survive. A truly eye-watering moment. The touchdown was in honor of his son.
Wide open for the speedster, Goodwin. And Goodwin is gone! A 49er touchdown!
April 15, 1947. Jackie Robinson played in his first Major League Baseball game and made history as the first African American to represent the sport. Several other sports followed after this historic game-changing moment, and racial discrimination was thus eliminated from the popular games. He played in front of 26,000 fans on that day, many of whom were also African Americans who had come along to show support.
In the last half of the second inning, Robinson gets the first hit off Ford. It's a homer into the left field stand.
During a football match between Tottenham and Everton, Son tackled Gomez and left him screaming in pain. After realising how bad the injury was, Son was devastated and cried for an accident he thought was his mistake. Later, he deeply apologised to Gomez and said that he wished that he could trade places with him. Even though it wasn't really his fault, Son's kind nature shone through nonetheless. Can you believe that an 82-year-old woman can finish a triathlon competition? Hawaii 2012. Sister Madonna Buddha, yes, she is a nun, crossed the Ironman finish line and proved to the world that age cannot stop anyone from realizing their dreams. The iconic UFC match that fans took as the final passing of the torch, when Israel Adesanya beat the legendary Anderson Silva. The respect the two of them showed to each other, bowing like that, was such a special moment.
Adesanya touched Silva with the right hand. He's hurt. He's hurt there. That hurt him. Anderson Silva doing that to people, and now we're seeing Adesanya give him a taste of his own medicine with the showmanship. Nice. Left hand. Good right high kick. Switch to southpaw. Good switch. Adesanya digs those toes into the body. Anderson Silva. And so much respect from one man to another.
Alessandro Florenzi scored during a football match and ran straight towards a crowd of fans, only to hug his grandmother.
Scambio ancora con Keita, poi palla per Gervinho, posizione regolare, Gervinho la mette giù, Gervinho si gira, schizza per Florenzi! Ole! Ole! 2-0 per la Roma, al 13esimo Alessandro Florenzi, il raddoppio della Roma. Dove va Florenzi? Va via, dove va Florenzi? Dove sta andando ragazzi? Fatemi vedere, Florenzi è andato in tribuna ai compagni. Florenzi non so dove sia andato, adesso glielo chiederemo dalla mamma credo, o dalla nonna. Alessandro Florenzi credo sia andato dalla nonna. Qui c'è tanta emozione, bellissima, molto sì. Bella, molto bella.
During a cycling tournament, a cyclist injured himself and others were seen helping him cross the finish line. The first ever female above-the-knee amputee that completed the Kona Ironman in 2005. Though it wasn't Sarah Ryan-Esten's first attempt, the previous year she wasn't able to make it to the bike stage, but determined to finish the Ironman triathlon, she finally succeeded and thereby gained a lot of recognition and inspired many spectators.
Oh yeah!
To see them at the finish line and to share this moment with them, it meant everything to me.
Esteban de Jesus was the first boxer to ever beat the undefeated champion, Roberto Duran. But it wasn't the iconic fight that was considered beautiful. It was the reunion of the two great rivals 17 years later, when Duran reached down to hug a dying De Jesus due to AIDS. A symbolic gesture at a time when people were misinformed about the stigmatized illness.
Leaning on Duran's shoulder. Remember, I said Duran is known for stamina. Oh, he's tired. He is really worn down. He's just shaking his head toward his corner.
So, what can we say? Sport is not always about the game. It can also teach us a lot about humanity. We hope you enjoyed our episode of the most beautiful moment in sports history. Oh, are you crying? We're not crying. You're crying. See you on the next episode, guys. That's all, folks.
Hurst, he's got some people are on the pitch, they think it's all over. It is now.